folks, and welcome back to another studio vlog. If you are new here, hi, my name is Holly and I am an illustrator and a book designer living here in Nelson, New Zealand. And I do these vlogs, which is a little bit of a behind the scenes of what I do week to week. Sometimes it's just one day, sometimes it's a few days in my week. This week it will be over a few days. At the moment, I am focusing on trying to get my online shop back up and running after I had a bit of a setback with New Zealand Post. If you are not familiar with that story, you can go back and watch previous vlogs. But basically, I'm switching all of my products over to a print-on-demand company in Canada. So I am awaiting samples still. I did hope that they would arrive last week, where I have ordered some of my designs, or it's just one of my designs actually, on 3 different products. So we'll see what they look like. It's just quite a long process because they have to print the thing and then ship it out, and it's got a long way to come to New Zealand. As soon as those come, I can decide which fabrics I like best, and I can start ordering some other designs, because I've got a few now, so that's got to be good. I've also got a client project on at the moment. It's just a relatively small thing, but I'll need to get on with some of that, and I won't be able to share that, I'm sorry. But the other thing I've been working on is doing a sort of mail out to go to art directors and publishers. So in the past I've done postcards, which are a great, cheap, economical way of doing promotion, but with a postcard you can only include one image really, especially if you still want to include the address and a bit of text. So what I'm doing this time around is a little booklet, which will cost a little bit more to produce and a little bit more to post, but I think it will be worth it because it will include a lot more examples of my work and some of my photography of my work in there as well. So nice little presentation. I was working on that over the weekend. It's definitely been a case of me working weekends at the moment. There's quite a bit on, and with my online shop issues, it just has to be done. So yeah, I've been doing 2 days a week at my local print job company. I do some marketing locally, and that's 2 full days a week. I did my first full 2 days again last week, having had issues with my hands up to this point. It's pains coming from my neck that are radiating down into my hands, making it very difficult to work. So I did 2 days last week. That was really hard. I did a full day yesterday. That was also really hard. My hands were just aching and pains up my arms. So that's not great. So we'll see how I go today. It's not so bad when I'm drawing, so maybe I'll just have to do some of that. I am an illustrator after all.
Hello, so it's Holly here from the future. This is a little time lapse that I did for Instagram. And you can see it on there as well, but this is kind of the full thing. This took me about an hour to do. It's a drawing on the foredge of a book, which I've done a little bit of before, but I've never used these particular materials, so it's a bit of an experiment. And actually it turned out really well. I was very happy with it, which is why it actually went up on social media. And yeah, this is something I'm keen to do more of as well. I think I might make it into a little series, so I thought I'd better share it with you here, and here's the finished result. I think it came out pretty well. Morning folks, might have to shout a bit over the fan because we're just trying to defrost this car. Oh, it's so cold. So today I'm going to be at my office job thing all day. Hopefully I can get a whole day in. My hands have not been good, but we'll see. So I just want to check in and say that's what I'm doing. It's not all glamorous drawing stuff all day. Instead, yeah, earning some money. I don't want to just show me drawing all day and doing the exciting stuff, because that's not an accurate representation of what I do day to day. So 2 days a week I am here at the office and doing marketing, which is not especially thrilling for me. It's not working on my own business, but it's like a day job basically, except I'm doing it on a freelance basis. It's marketing work, and it helps me to support the rest of what I do. So I think if you are doing some kind of freelance gig and you're just starting out, having a day job or having something that is a regular source of income is so important for your finances and for your sort of stability financially and mentally as well. It just means that I know if I do a certain number of hours, I will have a certain amount of income coming in. Basically, what I do here covers my basic expenses, and I'm able to put some of that back into the business as well. That is kind of the way it goes. Most of what I earn goes back into my business. I did my taxes for last year, and while I did earn what would be a kind of a good basic salary, the majority of that, like 50% of what I earned, went straight back into the business. Might have been more than 50% even. So yeah, it's just kind of the reality of that, which then leaves me with a very small salary, comparatively. Then you keep your expenses low, and hopefully that builds up over time so that the money you're putting back into the business reduces, all of that. Anyway, I'm going to go and crack on with my day here, and I will probably check in with you tomorrow. And I've got an art class tonight, so I might have some new stuff to share. Scrap that. It's now Wednesday evening, and I am just going to discard what I said just before, because it's the same day, and I didn't go to art class, and oh my goodness, everything hurts. So I managed a full day at my local job. And my body now hates me for it so much. But getting the full 16 hours done this week was quite important to me. For one, to prove that I could do it. Prove to myself that I could do it. And also, I only get paid for the hours that I work. Which is one of the downsides of being freelance. I don't get sick pay. But I do get paid a little bit more than I would if I was an actual employee there. So it kind of balances out, and it's easier for my bookkeeping and all that jazz. So yeah, I'm not going to art class. I feel like a bit of a failure, but I just think sometimes you have to stop and have a break, and I'm terrible at this. But this arrived. This is what I've been waiting for so long. So I'm going to unbox this. I would wait until it was nice and light, but I'm really impatient, and I've been waiting for these, and I really want to open them, and I want to bring you along on this journey. So I promise, if it's really hard to see, then I will show you proper footage of it tomorrow. But yeah, so this is a cushion case and 2 scarves. So let's unbox them. It's working like the true professional style vlogger that I am here. The first thing we have here is a cushion cover or a pillowcase. And as you can see, it comes in plastic, which, I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid. But in an ideal world, I would not have this. I don't know if they have any option for not using plastic. Yeah, just because of the environmental factor. But the fact that these are print on demand obviously means that you don't end up with a whole lot of leftover stock. That is better for the environment. Just the plastic is not great. Okay, so as you can probably see here, this is a big cushion cover. So got this one here from Society 6. This is considerably larger. I'm not sure which one I ordered, but there's probably a smaller version, I would think. But yeah, you just have to have a cushion that's big enough to go in it. It's picked up a lot of the detail. It hasn't, this is an ant on here, so it's blurred that a little bit, which I suppose you would expect. And there's a little ladybird there, which isn't super clear. But it's a lovely, soft, kind of velvety fabric, which I really like. I like that you still get some of that marker texture coming through. Well, not quite the texture, but you get a little bit of the gradient there, which is lovely. And the textures come out fairly well. I definitely wouldn't want the text to be any smaller because you'd lose some of these finer lines.
And then it's just black on the other side, but there is an option to have it on both sides, but I feel like that might be a little bit too much. And obviously it costs a bit more. And then it's got a zip at the side. It looks like it's quite a good quality zip. It seems to be really well made. And yeah, it's the velvety texture on the back as well. Next up we have these two boxes, and I'm assuming each of these has a scarf in. They're kind of tiny, and it doesn't sound like there's plastic in here, so yeah, I'm right. That is good. I like that it comes in a cardboard box and it's not covered in plastic. The scarf itself is made from polyester, which wouldn't be my first choice, but it's got a kind of silky texture to it, and again, the print on demand factor is a good thing. So yeah, it's not like I'm going to be able to find silk scarves as a print on demand thing at a reasonable price, and yeah, it would depend on the kind of cotton anyway, if I could find a cotton one. But I believe these boxes are personalizable. That's probably not it. Are customizable. That's the word. So I can have my own branding on these, which would be really nice. I like how compact these little boxes are. They're really sweet. Okay, so this is one of the scarves, and I ordered these in 2 different fabrics. So yeah, it's a nice rolled hem that looks like it's been done on an overlocker around the edge. It's quite neat. And let's just shake it out. Yes, look at this. Oh, that's quite nice. It's got a nice kind of silky, loose drapey feel to it. So it'll hang nicely around the neck. And you do get a bit more detail in here as well. I don't think there's a great deal of difference, but because this is a different kind of fabric, things look a little bit clearer, I think, if we compare those two, just because this has got texture to it and this is smoother. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. The reverse side is kind of white, and you do get a little bit of it showing through, but not a whole lot. But I don't think that's too much of a problem, and yeah, I think this would look lovely worn. Then we have the final one here. So this must be the chiffon one. So again, it's polyester, but this is a lighter weight scarf. Ooh, this feels quite different, and it's smaller. It's much smaller. So as you can see, the first thing you really notice is that you see a lot more of it through the other side. But at the same time, this is very, very light. I'm not sure if that's what I want to go for. It might be nicer for a larger scarf, actually. It's a shame that this is the smaller one. Because I think with a scarf like this, in this kind of fabric, you would want something bigger and sort of drapier to take up more space. As this is, yeah, it doesn't really, there's not much to it. It almost feels like a handkerchief. Whereas in a more substantial fabric, this might be better. So that's good to know. This is why I ordered some samples. You do lose an awful lot more of the detail in this one. So yeah, that just sort of now looks like a blob. Partly because this is a lot smaller as well. If I compare the two, it's obviously really scaled down the size of the art. So it's harder to see those small details. So for some designs, this would probably work really well in the smaller size. But I think, generally speaking, especially if you're spending, what, $30 on a scarf or something, you definitely want one that's a bit bigger and feels more substantial. So to me, this seems the best one, the larger one. But the chiffon, I think, like I said, could work with bigger scarves. So I probably should have thought of that when I ordered them. But I mean, this one I'm absolutely delighted with. I will definitely be keeping this one and wearing it because it is absolutely my style, because I designed it. And I mean, this will go perfectly with my my trousers and my colour scheme in my wardrobe, so that makes me pretty chuffed. I'm now definitely looking forward to taking some photos of these in a proper situation, you know, being worn on somebody. So I'll probably take some pictures of them on me and maybe on Lyra. We'll see. I might be able to press gang some friends into being models for me. I'm really chuffed with how this looks. I mean, I know I've said it already. Oh, I'm getting lipstick on it. Oh dear. That's not a good start. I think it's really important with these things to order samples, because I wouldn't have known that this voily fabric is not really what I'm after so much. And I think for the Greek goddess designs and things, this thicker, more substantial fabric will definitely work well. Yeah, so it's good to know the quality is there. Art of Wear are definitely onto it when it comes to their production. It's all made in Canada in their factory, so it's you know, fair trade and all of that. And yeah, while it's not made from organic cotton or linen or anything like that, it is more environmentally friendly than ordering say a batch of 100 scarves and then only selling through 30. Which I wouldn't want to be doing anyway, because it's quite a risk. So with this, the only risk really is the time that I put into it, which in the case of this design, as you saw in my previous video, was quite a bit. It was quite a big time investment, but yeah, for some of the others, it won't be such an issue, especially now as I found this process where I can get similar results on the iPad. Yeah, so I will now put together another order, I think, with some different designs and some different products. I definitely want to test out their notebooks. With these, it really was just a case of getting some orders so that I know what I'm working with to start with. But I've seen some videos on YouTube of people reviewing some of their other products, including the notebooks, and they look beautiful. So I will definitely still order samples of those, because I think it's really important to be able to see them. I definitely wouldn't want to be just uploading designs and telling people they can buy them, because yeah, and I know a lot of print-on-demand people do that, and I don't think there's a huge problem with doing that, but it doesn't really fit with my brand, and I certainly wouldn't want to just use the images that they have on my website. I want to be able to take proper product photography myself and, you know, fit it in with the whole aesthetic and make it feel very, very my brand. Because I do have a particular aesthetic that I aim to achieve in each of my photos, so and on my online shop and everything. So yeah, and I might need to do a giveaway of this one. It's still beautiful, and it's still definitely wearable. I mean, if I saw this in a shop, I would probably buy it. I'll be honest. So yeah, actually, I will do a giveaway of this. If you would like to go in the draw to win this scarf, this is just going to be a YouTube exclusive giveaways. If you're here and watching this, comment down below and tell me, oh, what question should I have? Just tell me what sort of products you'd like to see, whether you are excited about scarves, or whether you'd like to see mugs, or more notebooks, or cushion covers, t-shirts. Just tell me a thing, and I will put you in the draw to win this lovely little thing. So that's me for Tuesday. Oh dear, today has not been great in terms of the body, but hey, at least we got some work done. Good morning, friends. Today is Thursday, and this is a scarf in the light of day. Yeah, I'm still thrilled with how this one looks, this particular fabric. It's a matte crepe, I think they call it. So it's not particularly shiny. In fact, it's not shiny at all. It's completely matte, which is fantastic. I know that I prefer my designs on matte surfaces because that's how they tend to be when I draw them. I know I said I was going to take some photos of this today, but I think I'm going to reserve that for another day when the light is a bit brighter, just because it's overcast. I don't know. I mean, my hair's not looking too bad, so maybe I should. We'll see, because I'm going to do some pictures of me actually wearing the scarf. And I could do a little video on different ways you could wear your scarf, because there are many things you can do with one of these. It's quite magical. Apart from that, it's going to be a day of doing a bit of marketing stuff. I want to get some of my designs uploaded onto Dribbble and Behance, which I have not traditionally been very good at. I've only just got an invitation to Dribbble, so I need to figure out how that whole thing works. And I was listening to a podcast this morning. I have been binge listening the Honest Designers podcast, which is awesome. And I really recommend it if you are a designer or an illustrator. They go through lots of topics that are relevant to people like us. And there was one that I've just finished listening to, which was about your portfolio and actually bringing people to your portfolio. And one idea was using Facebook advertising, which I think will work for one set of my potential clients, target audience. And that's self-published authors. I don't think it'll work especially well with art directors. That needs to be a bit more direct. But I think that maybe it might be worth at least looking into the whole Facebook advertising thing or Instagram advertising, to look into getting some more work with indie authors. Because obviously that's been something I've been working on this channel. So yeah, that doesn't sound like a particularly fun task to do. I really do not enjoy being on Facebook. It might be a worthwhile thing, and obviously driving traffic to your site is a really important aspect of getting those clients and actually converting people into customers, which I always hate all this marketing lingo because it turns people into numbers, and that just makes my skin crawl a bit. But it is true that the more people you get to your website, the more things you're likely to buy if your website converts, which is something I've been looking into, copywriting and explaining more of my process along the way. So all of that, really, really thrilling stuff. But again, it is a worthwhile thing to look into, I think. So yeah, there's that, and I might get to doing some drawing later on. I would like to try and make something similar to this, except digitally. That's my next step. I'm thinking, because this is obviously an autumnal themed one, maybe I will do one, a sort of summer themed one or a winter themed one, along the lines of the bookmarks that I did for Inktober. And yeah, I think that could go quite nicely. Yeah, so that's sort of the plan. I was going to take you through a sort of more structured plan, how I plan out my day, how I manage my time. I think I might do that another time. So let me know down below if that's something you would like to see. But today, I think just because I've been so sore the past few days, and it's been really hard to get things done, I think I haven't got any meetings scheduled, at least not that I know of yet. And I'm thinking, yeah, just having a looser day where I get some creative stuff done, and if I get some things uploaded onto Dribbble, that's great. Keeping expectations low. That is the key to happiness, guys. It's now 1:15 and I've got a few things uploaded onto Dribbble and Behance. Well, one thing on Dribbble and a few things on Behance. The thing is, with Behance, you've got the opportunity to put quite a lot of information on there, lots of different images, and I feel like I need to be making the most of that. However, I've got these case studies of some of my work already over on my site, and I don't want to duplicate the content from there over to Behance. Because I know the internet doesn't like that, and Google doesn't like that, having duplicate content. But the last thing I want to do is go back and rewrite something that I've already written. That seems counterproductive. So instead, I've just added a link to the full case study on my site, which is good because it will hopefully draw people onto my site. Yeah, it doesn't look so great on Behance itself. But at least I've got some stuff on there. We'll see if I get any views, or I think it's one of these things, as with any social network, that you have to try hard and get your stuff seen and share it and all of that. And it feels quite overwhelming sometimes because there are so many different platforms and I feel like I need to spread myself across them, but you can't do all of them well. That's just an impossibility. So I tend to focus on Instagram and YouTube as my social media platforms of choice. I haven't quite found a good way of spreading myself further consistently. And that's the trouble. Same thing with places like Pinterest and Twitter. But yeah, that's a work in progress. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave the vlog here. Yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. I will leave my Instagram link down below, or it's just at Holly Dunn Design. It's not too difficult to remember. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to enter the giveaway if you want to go into the draw to win this scarf. That's an empty box. The scarf that is in the other box that I mentioned earlier. Yeah, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.